This is an experiment, just like everything. There is something really pleasing about hearing words but not really listening. I'm going to tell you about a dream I had last night. It started with me in the library. I was in a large room where there were no walls, only bookshelves, and in the middle of the room was one long, perfectly varnished table which several people were sat at, including me. A man came through the immensely tall wooden doors. A man I didn't know until he came closer, at which point my sleeping brain filled my dreaming mind with memories of him. I shook his hand and we hugged, and he introduced me to a girl. She was stunning. She had a long waterfall of brown hair falling from her head, and she wore a delicate white dress that flew in a breeze that wasn't there. It didn't fool me though. She wasn't a person, she was a robot, a cyborg, or whatever you want to call it. Her eyes glinted a metallic silver color in the light. The man had forged her. He asked me to look after her, so I took her by the hand and we headed out of the library and up a broad, grey cobbled street. Along the way, I saw a woman who was wearing a reptilian green kimono and had raw slices of silver metal around her wrists and neck. Her face was white and round and was perfectly framed by her shards of black hair. I told her she was beautiful, and though I knew she had to tell me something, I went. I needed to follow the girl. We ended up beside a crater in the middle of the city. Surrounded by rubble, the crater was as wide as a football pitch. The man was there, and once again new memories began to flood my mind, but this time to a different purpose. Just as before I hadn't been fooled by the girl, I was suddenly no longer fooled by myself. The man had created me too, and this existential epiphany made me freeze to the spot. The man and the girl just looked at me with vacant and haunting expressions. We rose into the air. The man grabbed me and we were all flung into the crater, spinning wildly regardless of gravity. We plummeted towards the center of the crater and began to slow. As the man and I gently touched the ground, unharmed and unaffected, I noticed a giant well filled with turquoise and green water, the depth of which was impossible to determine. The girl fell directly into the water. Not with a splash, but a plop like a pebble, and she was gone. I fell to the dusty and rocky ground and woke up.